Everybody's doing all right? Getting in there, seeing? Combo feels cool? Good, good. Feels comfortable? Good. What tunes you guys doing?
I don't really know yet. So
Should we play a lot?
Yeah, so
Good.
different time now,
things.
time after that.
Cool, solid. Solid, good. All right. Everybody just stand up while he's getting this stuff ready. That's what I like to do. Give yourself plenty of room. What I like to do is get everybody's hinges opened up. Okay? Find that in my travels, I see just a lot of people, we're physically very, very bound up with the instrument. If we want to have ways of playing, we translate that by physically how we offer a sound. So if we're all like this all the time, then we only can offer one kind of sound. That's not a bad sound if that's what it is intended. But if that's the only way that we can play, then we're limited. All right? So we want to have different ways of playing, different ways of approaching it. So what I'd like everybody to do first is just tread water like this. Move the hinges this way so that we see them. All the fingers move too. Those hinges move. All right? Elbow, shoulder, wrist, fingers. Okay? Good. It's nice and open that. Good. Now, paint the fence. Okay? All those hinges have to be opened up. Can't leave that one in between. Again, if that's the sound that you want, the sound that you want to offer, that's fine. If it's the only way that you can play, then we can open up different ways. Okay? Good. Very good. Keep going. Very good. So we want volunteers to hit the drums? Okay. Got some sticks? Somebody have some sticks? Yeah, sure. Yeah, plenty. It's all cool. Okay, good. So, this instrument, as every instrument is physical, right? We all have sonic imaginations. We all have things that we hear. We all have things that we want to play. We hear those things and we want to do it, whether it's on the piano or the violin or the bass or the mandolin or the B3 organ or whatever. It's all done physically. Embouchure. This. So our physical relationship with the instrument is imperative, no matter what instrument it is. So we have to spend a lot of time becoming really friendly with the instrument. I like to use that word. I don't like the word control. Because control means that you're going to power it. You're going to be like, overtake it. I know it's just a word, but it's kind of an ugly word when we refer to people that way. We're going to control somebody. Really? Right? Good. I'm going to be married 20. Yeah, that's good. I like that. That's on video. It's good. 26 years. I'm going to be married 26 years in a few weeks. If I said, oh yeah, nicely, less than 2 weeks. If I said, oh, after 7 or 8 years, I had it under control. I'd be like, hey, right? But we say this about these instruments all the time. Oh, he's got great control. No, the person or she has a great relationship, physical relationship with the instrument, so that, wow, the ideas can flow. If we're going to have it flow, we have to have this kind of physical, we have to embrace the instrument. So one of the things we have to be able to do on this instrument is what? As compared to just playing the snare drum. What do we do on the drum set? What do we do? Yeah, you do what? We move, right? So how we move can determine how we sound. So one of the first things I think we should do is just really get friendlier with the instrument by working on some movement. And also just address A, how it's set up. B, everybody in here is completely different. You know, I have 2 different sized feet. I can't lift my left foot. So I don't play heel toe hi-hat. Why? Because I can't. Not because whatever. So luckily I didn't have a teacher along the way that said, well, Matt, you can't play heel toe hi-hat, so
I think you might want to switch instruments.
You know, no, luckily I didn't have someone say that to me. They said, well, just figure out a different way of doing it. So that's what I did. That's what we all do. We all have to adapt. When we talk about improvisation in this music, we talk about improvising and creativity and all this stuff. Most of what we do to create and be imaginative and doing things is adapt. We adapt. So that's what we need to do here. So one of the things I want to point out to you guys is that, look at it. These things all adjust. You know, there's guys that put a lot of time in, man. They spend a lot of years research and development so these things can do this. So adjust the stuff to you. Everybody's body is different. So, you know, adjust it. You know, have it feel comfortable. You know? Sometimes I'll come across some people and I'll say to them, wow, you're sitting, do you eat sitting like that? You know, oh yeah. Do you drive like that? You know, whatever. So how we physically, we all have to, again, that's why we have these adjustments. But once we get that, or even if we're that, we can adjust our bodies to that too, but once we feel comfortable that, one of the first things we need to do this instrument is address how we move. Okay? So what I'd like you to do, I'm good, man. I'm good with the last couple of I've seen a lot of people in the last couple of weeks. I just like you to take one stick, and I'd like you to move around with just your right hand, and move around to the different sound sources. Go ahead. Let's talk about the instrument for a second. The drum set is a what instrument? It is an American instrument. You know? This instrument represents, this is one of our true American contributions, is this instrument, the drum set. And it really represents culturally who we are, what we've become as a country. And this instrument was developed for this music, for the most part. Jazz music. The other great thing is what? The instrument is completely different. You set up one way, you have this many cymbals, you have this many drums. I set up one way, I have this many cymbals. You use this kind of heads, you use this kind of... It's a choice, right? We have choices, we have freedom. So it also represents that. It's an instrument that we consider, but it also can be any number of things. We can have 14 toms or we can have one, right? So that's the other thing, is it's a very, very personal instrument. So it's an instrument that we recognize. So we have what? We have the toms, which to me represent the African influence, or that sound. When they put the drum set together, they put these toms on it, and that created that sound. The bass drum, the snare drum, is probably a European sort of sound, right? The cymbals represent the East. We have Chinese cymbals, we have Turkish cymbals. So again, this is a melting pot instrument. This is an American instrument, man. You got baseball, we got apple pie, we got jazz, and we got the drum set, right? The drum set. This is what and the pioneers of this instrument, you know, a lot of the true early pioneers especially, right here on our soil, you know, Joe Jones, Baby Dodge, Chick Webb, we can go on and on. Good to know these guys. Good to learn the anthropology of our instrument, okay? So, because it is personal, when we move, right, we have all these sound sources, so when we're moving, it's not just a static thing. It's not like when you go to play one of those electronic drum sets, you know, they're all the same feeling, but these instruments, each A, have a sound that we can identify with, and a feeling that they give us. Technically, feel, like the stick, and also just the feel of the sound. So Daryl, when Daryl goes around this time, let's check out the sound possibilities too when he goes around. Just do it with the left this time. Move. have different sizes that we have to deal with. So sometimes it can be something this big to something this big. So we're dealing with that. We're dealing with movement on different sizes. So how comfortable we are with this movement, A, knowing how those surfaces feel and how they sound. So I don't have a lot of big philosophies, but I think this is one of them. Is we want to hear what we play, feel what we play, and love what we play. I don't mean love like ego love, like, oh, check me out. But if you're playing in a group and you're offering something, you better love it, the sound of it, before you offer it to those guys and see if they're going to love it or not. That's why we practice. So we can practice. In fact, that be over and over again. So we go, okay, when we sit down, here we go, guys. I'm going to offer this. So it's like a good meal. You go someplace, they say, well, what do you got to eat? Well, I don't know if you'll like it or not. I don't know about eating. You know? But when they come out and go, wow, here's your meal. It's a beautiful thing. So movement. So now we're dealing with what? We're dealing with sounds. We're dealing with the surface feels when he moves. Not just that. Okay, let's talk about ways of moving. Thank you, Don, for stopping in. We want to talk about ways of moving. Now, he has, move for me like this. When you play, like how you're moving, right? Okay, now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to feel like this is a trampoline. You're going to let this motion here take you to the next one, right? Like you're throwing a basketball. Keep going. Try the first way. First way. Okay. Cat's honest opinion. Which was the better sound, the first one or the second one? First sound, the second. First one? Why the first one?
I felt more. It felt more relaxed. So the tones were.
Of the second one or the first one?
The first one. The tones
Okay.
felt more open.
Okay. Anybody else?
The trampoline one sounded better.
Okay. Let's talk about this. Now he has two ways. Now he has two ways of offering a sound, right? He has the more legato.
Yeah.
Now you have this. So that's why we're thinking about not less about how we're doing something, but what we're doing. Ways. That way we have ways. So there's no right or wrong way. But we want to have ways of playing. So let's say the time feel is like this. If something would open like this. If the only way you can play is this, is that going to support that sound of the music coming out? You know, not as much. But if you have this, then. But let's say the song is dun 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 boom bum ba da ba da dum bum bum. Would you be back and going? No, you can go.
Yeah.
Right? Ways. So you can move different ways. Just be aware that, wow. I like to think that one of the best ways, though, is to start with the more open, to really let the stick do the work. Because that way, the stick is a tool. We want to make the most of the stick as possible. All right? So the trampoline one feels really is a way of moving where the energy is being taken care of for us. All right? The other thing is, too, is that each of these surfaces, like we talked about, have distinct feels. So the snare drum is different than the four-tom feeling. This cymbal feels different than this, so we're learning the surface feels as we do this. But the great thing about all this is your only limitation is your own imagination. So even when you're doing this, you can put a vamp in the feet and move around. Move around just the right hand and play some melodies first. You just before we on the bass drum, if you want, that's fine. And move around. individually, right? And we're just moving from, and try new paths of movement all the time. That's the key. He was always kind of starting here and going the same way. You start here and move around. Change the center of where you're starting from. Move different directions. Learn to do sculpture strokes, you know what I call them. They're not always just here to here, they can be downwards, they can be sideways. That's why I had to do this. That's why I had to do this. Get this all opened up. Okay? Very good. Questions? Pretty simple, right? Now, let's go to a sticky to do the same thing. Our hands can move three basic ways when we play a sticky, or a combination of our right hand and left hand doing something. Right? What are those three ways? They can move in the same direction, they can move in the opposite direction, and one hand stays and one hand moves. So all I can do is to play right, left, and move the hands moving in the same direction so one will follow each other. Is that the book gets thicker and thicker and you have to pay more for it, right? So the thing is, we can come up with this stuff ourselves. Your only limitation is your own imagination. If you practice imaginatively, if you practice creatively and inspiring, you're going to play that way. You need somebody to tell you what to do all the time? Right? Whatever. Cool. All right? So movement. Hands can move in those three ways. Same direction, opposite direction, one hand stays, one hand moves. So we can put your left hand on the hi-hat and play a parallel sticking and move the right hand around. Before we on the bass drum do this. This is the melodies that'll come out. Go, 1, 2, ready, go. Something that is a mechanical, technical exercise, whatever, however you want to describe it, and we're really shaping music and sound out of it. That's key. You know, you always want to hear music in what we're doing. It's a musical instrument. Okay? What is music? We're at a music camp. We take music lessons. We buy spend a lot of money on musical instruments. What is music?
Anything that would find song.
Good. Good answer. What else? Good answer. Keep it going.
Anything we find song.
Pleasant to the ear. Good. Anything we find? Good. What else? Anybody?
Even if it's not pleasant to the ear.
Anything that's not pleasant to the ear, that's what?
It can still be music if it's not pleasant to the ear.
That's true too. So in other words, it's in the what? Ear of the hearer, right?
Yeah.
Did you hear? You know, if we're going down the road and we hear the jackhammer, that's not necessarily a musical instrument, but I played a piece once in college, a percussion ensemble piece, concerto for percussion and professional wrestlers, one of the instruments was a jackhammer on steel B. So in that case, it's a musical instrument, right? A musical sound. We can record it and make a loop out of that sound and do something, right? So there is music, okay? To me, it's sound with emotion or some sort of sound with intent, too, but it can be pleasing or not. Great answers. So where sound is very, very important. So where we're hitting the drum is very, very important. Are you just hitting it to hit it, or you know what sound do you want? What sound do you want from the hi-hat? What sound do you want from the cymbal? Are you paying attention to that, or are you just, is it the whole thing of, well, my right hand's supposed to do this, and my left foot's supposed to do this? That's not music. Music is sound. So it's where our hands are playing those sounds that we want to be mindful of. Sound. Where we sound with intent or sound with emotion or both. Okay? Good. So any questions about this? Is one to me, if we work on movement with your posture good, posture is key. One of the main things we have to do to play music or to be on earth as human beings is breathe. So if we're cutting off our breathing by slouching, then we're automatically cutting off flow. It's hard. Everybody sitting here for a second and lean over and really slouch. Tell me how comfortable this is. Breathe a little bit. Now get a little nervous. Thinking, well, you got to play for Dave Douglas tomorrow or Wednesday. Oh gosh, you're nervous. Well, now if you do this, you can breathe. It's going to open everything up. So the minute you start to, it's also a confidence issue. If I see Daryl come in and sit in the drums like he means to be there, like here we go, rather than, well, I'm ready, it makes a difference, right? Again, we all have to make adjustments. We all have different things, but we want to try to maintain, we want to try to maintain as great a physical relationship with the instrument as we can. Again, we all have to make adjustments. I've had to, everybody does. So that's what's cool. So movement, practice movement. We move. This is one of the key things. I don't care if you do rudiments, whatever your approach is, stickings, whatever, move. Practice them moving. Hear the sound of them. Try to be as efficient with the tool as possible too, the stick. So if I see this a lot, and this is your only way of playing, that's like having a drill that you never plug in. When this much energy is there, why am I doing all that work? It's coming right back to where I'm starting. It's like dribbling a basketball. So why do I have to go and lift every time and guess? I can just do this. I'm not having to go. Now, if I want that as a sound, I do, but this gives me that open sound. To me, that is a great place to sort of and really embrace the instrument. Okay? Good. Let's hear from Daryl. Did a good job. All right, so yes. Come on. Somebody, come up. All right. What's your name, Ace? Nick. First day, I can't remember everybody's names. All right, Nick. I was going to adjust the seat. Yeah. Okay, something else we have to do with this instrument is what? We have to play with our feet. So we want to have, that kind of flow and energy happening with our feet as much as possible, So one of the things I think is really, really important to do is sound enters when we play, if we feel, when we talk about hear and feel, we feel the stick, right? We feel the stick vibration enters through our hands through where? Right in here. This is a very sensitive area. So everybody just pick up your sticks right where you have them, where you are right now, and just hold them. Just hold them. Feel them in your hand. Everybody shut your eyes. Hold the stick. Feel the stick against where your fulcrum is, wherever that is. For me, it's my thumb and my first finger. So send your attention there. Feel that. Maybe give it a little squeeze. Feel that stick right there. All right? Pinky. Explore all this, where the sound, and where your actually stick is in your hand. Because this is where you're welcoming the sound, if you're feeling the sound. We play with our shoulders, and we play with our wrists, and we play with our elbows, and we play with our fingers, but really the sound enters right here, through the fingers, through the hand. This is where the sound enters. All right? So we want to be very mindful of that. With your eyes shut again now, just whatever you can strike, the floor, whatever, feel that vibration of the stick in your hand. Go ahead and play the drum or whatever. Everybody play something. Now, welcome that sound through your hand. Feel it into your body through there. That's where you're feeling from. Right? So if we want to feel something, we have and that's where the sound enters. Very good. We made that awareness today, we've done something. So we're aware of how we're moving, where we're striking the instrument to get a sound that we like, and wow, it's entering it's coming back to us. We're here. This area here is very important because this is where the sound leaves and enters, right here. So when we're playing, how we feel the stick in our hand is very, very important. Right? So same thing with our feet. We want to feel the sound enter through the bottom of our feet as we play the pedals. So what I'd like you to do, Nick, is if you can, is just play both feet unison, and I'd like you to feel the sound enter through the bottom of your feet. Keep going. I want you to keep going. Okay, good. Let that beer come off a little bit more of the bass drum. There you go. Maybe just do the bass drum for a little bit. Do the bass drum. Good. Feel the sound enter through the ball of your foot. The arch of your foot. Feel that sound come in. Through your heel, wherever your heel is. Okay. Now your ankle. Feel it come in through your ankle. Good. Great. Very nice. Beautiful sound. Beautiful sound. Okay, let's talk about this for a second. The pedal is still a stroke instrument, right? It comes back like this, produces a stroke, just like we do with the stick or the mallet or the brush or whatever. Produces a stroke. Right? How do we play louder on this instrument?
Pull back more and then
Make a bigger stroke, right? Which one's louder? Why?
pull back.
Yeah, I just made a bigger stroke. It's bigger. It's bigger, it's going to be louder, right? I can sit there and play as hard as I can all day from here. I'm going to play hard from here. It's not going to be loud. If I do this, it's going to be louder, right? Just logic, right? So that's what we want. It's the same way with the bass drum pedal. We want to play softer on the bass drum. We're not going to get it from going back here and going, oh, it's going to get softer. We just play smaller, right? So now I'd like you to play 4 beats on the bass drum, 4 beats, like this quarter notes again, just using your toes.
That's my toes.
Yep. Keep going. Okay. That's gold star right there. That's nice, right? Very good. I mean, that's nice and steady, and it's soft. And you weren't sitting there trying to go, I want to play softer. No, you just made a smaller stroke. So if we want to play softer here, we just play a smaller stroke. I totally judge dynamics by the size, not as much by sound. Now, the hi-hat is a little bit of a different instrument. It's a pressure instrument, okay? In other words, it's not we push down on something. So it's a mechanical, more of a mechanical thing than the pedal. So I'd like you to play just 4 beats on the hi-hat for me, like that, repeat it, and feel the sound enter through different parts of your feet. If you play heel toe, do that, however you play it.
I haven't figured out how to do that yet.
Okay. Give yourself a little bit more.
Yeah.
There you go. Good. Good. Okay. Right. Great. Nick, this is your challenge. I'd like you to, with your foot, I'd like you to produce 5 different sounds on the hi-hat for us. Okay. Here's number 1. Go.
Oh, alright. What do you mean with adjustment?
5 different sounds with just your foot on the hi-hat. Go.
Alright.
Here's number 1. Okay, here's number 2. Good. Here's number 3. Good. Here's number 4. Here's number 5. Good. Here's number 6. About 1,000. Keep going. Number 6.
There's no, oh, no.
Good. Number 7. Keep the hits coming. Good. Number 8. Good. Number 9. That's cool. Different. Number 10. Good. Number 11. Good. Number 12. So, now, when you go to play the hi-hat, when you have that sound as part of your time melody, you have all these different ways of playing the hi-hat. Rather than just going, must play hi-hat 2 and 4. Left foot must play it, says it in the book. What's the sound that you want? What's the sound? It's the sound, right? What would be part of the sound? This is a whole alien thing. I think aliens came down when the hi-hat was invented. Like, must play hi-hat, must play hi-hat. Don't hear the sound, just play left foot, left foot. It sounds like, sometimes it just sounds like people are doing it to do it. It has to have a sound, okay? Good. Any question about that? So, where you put your foot, how much pressure you put down, all these things will give you these different sounds. So sit around and just figure out how many sounds you can get from the hi-hat. Oh, wow, we're exploring. We have to use our imaginations. We have to use, dig this. Okay? Now, I like to play both feet unison now. Good. Add the two hands unison like that. Just all 4 together. Go. Nice and big. Nice and big. Go. 2. Started, 6th grade, 5th grade, 7th grade, whatever. Remember we started a band and the band had that B flat and they played that whole note and we went 2, 3, 4, and then maybe the next day we got to go right, left. And how was that? Challenge of that was to go right, middle, left. But now we don't, we don't think about, this has become one, right? We don't sit there and think about, oh, the sticky ideas or whatever. We just play with our hands. That's as much chops as I have, so that's it. Public display of chops right there. But, so, when I would see Tony Williams play, it seemed like that he had that same sort of flow between the other limbs. So, we think about the combinations that we can play stuff on the drum set. And so boxes, anybody ever seen this? We have our left hand, we have our right hand. Obviously we play things between that. But we can play things between our left hand and left foot, our right hand and right foot, our left hand, or left foot and right hand, left hand and right foot. So we want to have the ability to have flows in between these. I call these flows. We have a flow here, we want to have flows. So, Nick, what I'd like you to do is we're going to play a flow and I write them like this. So what I'd like you to do is just put your right hand, just keep it on the 4 tom. What we're going to do is we're going to play a whole note and we're going to let that energy take us down with the whole note in our right foot and come back with the whole note in the right hand. Do the same thing, okay? Just hold them. 2, ready, go. 2, 3, 4, back, back. Good. Great. Now half notes. Good. that flow happening? What was the first thing he started with to establish that?
Holding the whole mountain.
Ah. If I said 16 notes, it would have been like, I can get him going, it's good. But I'm saying, right? So, now, once you get into this, don't forsake these. So go back and forth. Don't always go in order. After you get the flow going, I would stay on the holes longer, I would stay on the halves longer, I would stay on the quarter. Practice so slowly and big as possible. And then once you get to the 8s or 16ths, go back and forth. So go from 16ths back to holes, back to quarters, to halves, and whatever. All right, and work on these flows. You do in between any of these combinations. I don't have to. You guys are smart enough. You can figure this stuff out. You can do two versus 1. So let's try this. Let's do left hand, left foot unison versus right hand. So it'll be this. So do half note first. 1, 2, ready, go. Good. Sorry, let's start. Fault. Good. Half notes. Be ready to play, sir. Don't do the hand moves. Be ready. Good. Quarters. Eights. Stay there for a little bit. Move the right hand around. It's alright. Move the right hand also. Tossing over is just fancy. Keep moving. Good. High note. Good. Go. So this way, as opposed to before when Garrow was moving like this, now we have one note that's what in there?
Yeah, well,
We have a note in there that's what? Just a little bit thicker. So now we've added a dimension to the sound. Oh, dig that. So that sound was thicker, right? Because we had two things going at once. Okay, Nick. I love my wall in my room, but I'll give you $1 to buy a tune on iTunes. If on the drum set, you can play us on the drum set the thickest note possible. On the drum set, the thickest note possible. Okay? Thickest note. Okay. Okay? Okay? Cats, what do you think? He's 50 cents there. The drum set, the thickest note. Anybody want to do it? Anybody want to try? Thickest note. Ah! What are you leaving out? Ah! That's the thickest note, right? So go now, play with some thin notes. Yeah? So now we're going to add dimension to our sound. So when we go to when we go to play, we have dimension to our sound rather than just having it be dun 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 dun. Dig? Right? Wow, we have thick notes, thin sounds. So work on these flows too. This is about it as far as mechanics for me, cats. Movement and these flows. If we can do this, this pretty much can be all of that. I don't know what else there is. We move and we have flows between the limbs. We're either playing the limbs at the same time or we're not. Okay? So I find that to me, practicing unison is just really, really good to do. Okay? Want to come up for a second? Want to try another one of these flows? Let's do that. Good job, man. I'll also give you a set for iTunes, alright? Especially if you buy one of iTunes. Oh, no, anyway. Alright, so let's talk about, we can do a four-way flow. So what's your name, Ace?
Ryan.
Ryan?
Oh, yeah.
Ryan?
Yes.
These are fun. So we're going to do the flow this way, right? Okay? We're going to start with you. This is put your right hand on the cymbal if you like, or the four tom, left hand on the snare if you like. We're going to play all four limbs unison. Okay? Okay, then we're going to go right hand, right foot, left hand. So we're going to play unison, 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 and then so go back and put the unisons and that. Good. Okay, so why are you resting your hand out here? If you just keep it here, you just keep it here and be ready to play. You know what I'm saying? You're young, man. You don't reason to be tired. All right. Okay, 2, ready, unisons, big. Now, make them all the same though. Play all of them big. Play them all of them big. Good. Don't bury the beat. Don't bury the beat. Beater, come on. Good. Don't bury the beater. Don't bury the beater. Let me spread through the words. There you go. Good. Good. Is that the sound that you want? Here you go. Try 8. Back, boom, boom, chick, back, boom, boom, chick, go. Good. Okay? Good. Everybody come around here for a second. Everybody ever looked at the bass drum pedal? Everybody ever looked at the bass drum pedal? First of all, this bass drum pedal is adjusted so there's no. It would be as if you guys had your sticks and a tarp over, and this is the only size you can. So it doesn't come back very far. So first of all, it's not adjusted great. So you're not going to be able to get that much sound because it's only right here. So there's no way it should be coming back here when it's at rest, right? But what's on there? A spring. So let's see. Let's see. You're not letting the spring do its work. So it's like you're having a drill in and got it plugged in. So put your foot on there. Now play 4 beats in a row for me. Ah! Come on, you can do it. Ah, feel it. Let it come back. Ah, let it come back. Ah, you got closer. Ah! Ah! Good. Keep going. There you go. Ah! It's challenging, right? We want to try it? Go ahead. We'll all do it. In other words, we have these tools, we're not using it. What's the point? If you do this every time. I mean, that's the sound that we can use, but it's not the most desirable sound all the time. There you go. Well, try to have to be steady. It doesn't have to be fast. Matter of fact, slower is too challenging. There you go. Good, you're right. Ah.
That's what like consistent bass drum sound or
Want me to move the snare up a little bit? Cool. Hey, listen. Got it? You get it? It's hard, right? Notice I don't volunteer. There you go. Dig, right? So let me see if I can do it. I'm not sure if I can even do it. Good job, man.
it's like drilling a basketball.
It is. But this is so if we're burying that beater every time, then we're not using the spring. It's like, well, why do you even have it? Think about it. If that's the way you play every time, is this the sound that you get? This is just like getting the sound out of the drum or the cymbal each time. And Ron, you get a good sound with the sticks, so it's cool. But it'd be like this every time, right? So we want to let this come off. The same way here, we want to let this come off as part of the sound. When I said with that stuff, we do this all the time. So now it's banned. Miserable. So that's why we have the device. So again, these adjustments are very, very important. When I didn't even notice earlier when I said I didn't mention them earlier, but I noticed this a lot more that a lot of times there's no the bass drum isn't adjusted. There's nothing there. I should actually fix this because the beater should come back so that you have an arc. Again, that'd be like saying, well, you can play the drums, but you can only raise the sticks this high. It's going to be hard to get a sound that you love. Especially a bigger sound, right? So these flows are kind of like, I kind of think of these as like arpeggios. We play the chord, arpeggio, right? There. And then that way, you start to feel these a lot of different ways. So I feel like this, to me, cats, is mechanically all that you need to really work on. You know, we make it really, really difficult. We want to use as much natural thing as possible. Sit back down, Ryan. Sounds good. Put the forks on back over the form cats. Thank you. Okay. So we talked about earlier, when you were playing here, was this the snare drum sound? Listen to the snare drum sound. Now that's the sound you want, I would go with it. When you were just letting your hand go there. So I think it's nicer to really, there you go. Better to really focus on where, be mindful of when you're practicing of where you're hitting. You know, so that you know what kind of sound you play. Just with the cymbal too. A lot of guys have come up with the cymbal beat for me, and they're out here. It's the least defined part of that cymbal. All right? Good. Want to try this flow thing again for me? Sounds good. For the uses, yeah. And it's like a new world, sonically and everything, physically and sonically. We'll talk about how to practice in the second tour, some ways that I suggest to practice, but I think doing something over and over again consistently is great. And it's not our fault. Like exercise books and books say, you know, we have 4-bar exercises with repeats, but you gotta do this over and over again. And that way you can give yourself, where am I hitting? You can say to yourself, wow, where am I hitting? I can hear it, or I can see it. Combinations of both, all right? Good, great, right? Can you sit down for a second for me, buddy? What's your name? What's your name? Okay, no. Okay, have a seat. Okay? Now, I can tell people to say play looser all day, but this is one of the things that I think we can do sometimes to help this. This is what I like to do, no? Grab the sticks. Okay? I like to bend over. I like to get as tight as possible. Starting in your toes, all right? Get your toes tight, get your ankles tight, get your knees tight, get Get your hips tight, get your neck tight, get your shoulders tight, get your wrists tight, get your fingers tight, get your neck tight, get your eyes tight, get your ears tight. Right, now I want you to play. Right, okay, go. Now let all that tension, keep going. Let all that tension go. Let it go. Keep going, keep playing. Let it go. Rise up, let it go. Let all that tension go. Keep playing, nice and big. Go. This guy has really great natural hands. Look at, when his hands are, if our hands are at our side.
I usually hold like this.
Oh, you do? That's all right. Well, I like it either way. Do that way. In here, there's before you have a little bit more space, but when our hands are at our side naturally, like this, there's that space. So his hinges are working. So when we put it to that really loose spot, this thing is nice and open and loose. If you ever have questions about what to do, you just have to put your hands to the side and look at it. Look at it. This is all in alignment, and there's this space here. So we put the stick in our hand. That's all we have to do. Try that again. Sometimes is the, wow, how I get to be looser, I gotta know what tie it is first. So get yourself, don't hurt yourself. So get yourself in a ball, and then let that tension go as you keep playing. Be aware of letting it go. So you're going, oh wow, I'm letting this tension go, and all of a sudden I'm like this. This is what's there. Alright? That's a good exercise to try to do. To do occasionally, just to check in, like, wow, I want to know what tie it is. Get yourself all tightened up. And then you'll know what loose is. Same way too. Play slow. If you want to play fast, play slow. If you want to play slow, play fast. If you want to play in time, play out of time. You know, all these kinds of things. See both sides. All right? Very good. Good job, man. Good job. Okay? How much time we got? How long does this go? It's my first day. 4:48. We go to. Is it now? 1:50?
Yeah, it's 1 minute.
Okay? So, one of the things I'd like you guys to focus in on when you go into your ensembles is this now. It's like how you sit down and how you present yourself to the band. Don't be over there like slouching. And also comfortable. Get the setup comfortable for yourself so you're not like all bound in. If cymbals like this, you have to play like this, you're not in alignment, you can't do this. So take a second to adjust this stuff so that you can sit and play comfortable. Very, very important. We have to be comfortable. We have to allow things to be, we have to breathe, we have to let this thing lift. We want to lift the sound as much as possible. And if we're all bound up this way, then that's not going to happen. Also, the sound of where we're hitting things. When you're playing today, like tomorrow in your ensemble, pay attention to where you're hitting the cymbal and where you're hitting the snare drum when you're comping or whatever you're doing. So it's not just, again, the how, not what. A lot of times we can just clean up. We take the Windex and clean up our sound by just where we're playing something. Car and I never take it out of first gear. So I'm not sure if that's a great analogy, but this is a great sound too. Depends on what I want. If I'm doing a sound where I want that, like whatever, then that works. But for me, I want some body to the sound. It's where I play the drum. Looser. Right? The sound calls for it. Beat calls for this. much determined. It's how is us. How we play, how we offer it, how we offer it to the band, how we offer it to the song, how we offer it to the sound of the band, the sound of the bass, all that. How we offer it. So how? But if this is the only way you have to play, then you're limited. So you want to increase your ways. The more ways you have, the more sounds you can offer. The more sounds you can offer, the more music you can offer. You know, the possibilities are there. You're just increasing your possibilities and your choices. So you want to make sure that what you're doing is a choice, not A, an area of neglect, or B, a limitation. Limitations are good too. Limitations, we'll talk about that. But we also want to know what our sound is and how we're offering it. Okay? Good. Any questions about any of this? Sure? Yeah?
Why and or how, I guess, do we determine like what sounds good in certain settings and styles? Like you were playing the this jazz, you're just playing snake, medium snake. You're playing like in the middle of the snare. Like why does that snare sound like sharp in the middle sound good for that style? And like where does it come from?
It's a little less, it might be a style thing, but to me it's more about what I was hearing that I was playing it to. You know, I mean, I was hearing a song in my head, so that was determining how I was going to play the sound. In other words, I was playing the drum, I was working with the drum to create that sound more than, well, it's the only way I can do it, so I'm just playing this with my right hand or left hand supposed to be doing this. It's more like I'm hearing it for the song. You know, I'm not sure if there's this, I know what you're saying, I'm not sure. For me, we want to be clear in everything that we do. And this is a clear sound, as opposed to this. A little less clear. This is kind of, this drier comes right to the point. So it speaks, and there's a little more transparency in the sound when I play here. That rings a little bit longer, so it kind of messes with the sound here. Here. Play dynamics, what did I do?
You got louder than that.
But how?
Lowering the stick.
Yeah. So in other words, the dynamic was just, as least scientific as Matt Wilson is that it's the size of the stroke. The size of the stroke determines time, the size of the strokes determines dynamics. So I want to play soft. I had this guy friend in college, and there'd be like one pianissimo snare drum note, and he'd go, this seems like a waste of motion. Just have it ready and go. That's what I did. I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why do all this? No, you just go. So it's big. If I'm down here, there's no reason to wind up. If I just start here, it's going to be louder. Right? If I come up here, it's going to be even louder. Right? I can do it all day from here. Like I said earlier, I'm going to get loud. I'm going to put this loud. And all this is just create tension, and then you get this. You have to wear things and have surgery and all that. Let me stick to the word, right? Let me stick to the word. And now, honestly, one of the great things to do is have a bunch of sticks by you when you practice, and let those things fly out of your hand. Then you know you're letting the stick go. I'm in a cymbal, especially. No, that's the energy that's there. It's like dribbling a basketball. When I go to play basketball, I don't go, don't stop the ball, pick it back up, drop, stop the ball. First of all, it's double dribbling, but second of all, I don't do that. I let the ball come back, right? It's the same way here. If I go to play the cymbal, then I don't have to guess about what the time and the dynamic of the cymbal beat is each time because the stick is determining that. Do that all day, no effort. The rebound. It's like a pendulum works on a clock, right? It kicks at the same distance. That's how it moves those gears in that clock. It doesn't go and then go and then go and go like this. It does the same distance each time. So we do that here. Distance is time. Science. And all we do is shrink that for dynamics. So here. So I can play fast and soft. Or you play big and slow. Alright, check it all out. What's going on now? Pool, river, and it's hot. Any more questions about any of this? Ask them anytime, because we're not doing them right now. But this is, man, the physical approach to the instrument is imperative. Yeah.
Dynamics from like, you want your cymbal or snare to sound very like in sound or sound very,
We want to have both. Yeah, I think so. When I was having you practice doing the movement exercises and doing these flow things, I think it's really important to have the dynamic speed is the same.
Okay, so if you're playing loud or cymbal, you're going to go out of snare. If you're playing medium or something, you're going to try to have it the same.
Yes and no. There we're talking about that was as far as accompanying, I think it's a little bit different. As far as just movement and stuff like that, we want to say, no, we want to have a range of dynamic here too because it's a conversation, it's a tension release or whatever too. So sometimes
As far as comping.
as far as common, no, there's a dynamic range, definitely. Yeah, I don't play the same.
Yeah.
But the same thing is too though, a lot of times all the stuff down here that can't be heard is really not saying anything. It's like you're mumbling. So I'd rather have it be like something that's said like you know, like say it. Like if you're not don't do anything, if you're gonna say something, say it. You know? Good question. Very nice. Smart cat. All right. I got home at 1:30. I left at 6. So, time. All right. Cat's beautiful. Thank you guys so much. It's great. Man, remember, we're all here because we love this music and we love this feeling and this sound. So it's a good community that we're involved in. All right. So, ask questions. That's what we're here for. Check it out. Have a question from saxophone player, ask saxophone player. If you have a question from bass player, ask bass player. You know what I mean? Play these jam session stuff at night. Play. That's what you're here to do. Play. So play. All right? Solid. Thanks for letting me use the cymbals.